The final season of Lucifer is just around the corner, so I figure I should make a quick recap. That being said, this is a recap of the 5th season of Lucifer. Alright, let's go! The season starts with a guy by the name of Lee who shows up at the beginning of almost every season. This season he gets murdered and sent to hell, and while Chloe, Ella, and Maze investigate it, Lucifer down in hell also investigates his murder. While he's investigating, his evil twin brother named Michael takes over his life on Earth.
That's not me, guys! That's not me!
Amenadiel finds out and tells Lucifer, so Lucifer comes back to Earth and he has a fight with Michael. After the fight, Amenadiel reveals to Lucifer that nobody no longer needs to rule over hell anymore.
See, now that's some bullshit.
But while they were distracted, Dan sees Lucifer's devil face and panics. Michael then tells Dan if he ever wants to go to heaven and see Charlotte again, he needs to kill Lucifer. So Dan goes and shoots Lucifer while he's with Chloe, which should have killed him, but it turns out he's no longer vulnerable while near Chloe. And since Dan tried to kill Lucifer, Lucifer started to plan his revenge on him. But while planning that revenge, Chloe gets kidnapped. Lucifer then assumes that she was kidnapped by the serial killer that they were all investigating, but she was instead kidnapped by his twin brother Michael, who literally doesn't want anything more than to make Lucifer's life more difficult, because he's bored. On a side note, the serial killer turned out to be poor Ella's new boyfriend, who's been having nothing but relationship problems. And speaking of relationship problems, Maze joins Michael because Michael promises her a soul she believes she needs in order to have a functioning relationship. Anyways, Lucifer rescues Chloe, and then him and Amenadiel fight against Maze and Michael. But their fight is stopped when their father walks in. He then tells Lucifer and Amenadiel that he's gonna retire because he's losing control of his powers, so he's gonna elect a new god. As ridiculous as it sounds, Amenadiel decides to turn down the offer that was made by God, so Lucifer decides that he wants to become God at the same time as Michael finding out and deciding that he wants to become God. Their father then decides to let them fight about it and leaves the universe with their mother who returned just to help him retire. Speaking of retirement, Chloe decides to retire from the LAPD in order to help Lucifer in his campaign to become God. And in order to become God, all of the angels have to vote on who they want. But the battle was only between Michael and Lucifer, which Lucifer was losing. But he wasn't losing quick enough for Michael. So Michael, with the help of the other angels, gets Azrael's blade, which permanently puts people on shirts, even angels, and kills Dan, but not with the blade. So, rest in peace Dan. But instead of Dan going to heaven, he instead goes to hell.
See, now that's some bullshit.
Dan leads Lucifer and Michael to go to war. But before going to war, Eve comes back and her and Maze are now a thing. During the fight between Michael and Lucifer, Michael stabs and kills Chloe. But before I can say rest in peace Chloe, Lucifer flies to heaven in order to save Chloe. When he gets here, he starts dying because he's banished from heaven, but he's barely kept alive because of his ring, which contains Lilith's immortality. Lucifer is then helped by Lee, who was supposed to be in hell, but because he faces guilt, he is now up in heaven. Anyways, with Lee's help, Lucifer finds Chloe and gives her the ring, which brings her back to life but also kills Lucifer. But again, before I could say rest in peace Lucifer, Lucifer is resurrected. He then comes back to Earth and with the help of Azrael's blade, he cuts off Michael's wings.
I think you got off easy.
With that, all of the angels kneel to him, and instead of saying oh my god, he says oh my me. And yeah, that's it. If you enjoyed that video and want to see more like it, leave a like and subscribe. Adios.